All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers BotBots Series 3, Kick Me. Yeah, after the BotBots show aired on Netflix, I really wanted to track down this one in particular because out of the main five casts, this was the only one that I didn't already have. And yeah, there's kind of a weird story of this BotBot because, like, if you look at the other main characters, the other main four in the BotBot show itself, the other Lost Bots, they are actually all Series 1 BotBots that were in the Lost Bots in the toy line, whereas Kick Me was not only not even in Series 1, they were in Series 3, also not in the Lost Bots, and not even in the Jock Squad. Kick Me is a member of the Playroom Posse, which is really strange because, like, there was a Jock Squad in Series 3, I'm pretty sure, and to not have the soccer ball be a member of the Jock Squad is really strange. Like, yeah, I guess you can kind of say that that a soccer ball is like a child's toy or whatever, but it definitely fits in the Jock Squad more, or as a member of the Lost Bots with the Jock Squad member standee, basically. And when apparently the actual like Kick Me design was originally intended to be released in Series 1 as a part of the Lost Bots as the sort of Jock Squad standee, which does make sense when you think about it, because like in the original Series 1 Lost Bots, there really wasn't a great stand-in for the Jock Squad. Like there was the Shedheads, which were kind of like two different groups kind of paired together, like the plant guys and the tool guys. And then in the Lost Bots, there was bonz-eye, who was like clearly a plant guy, and Dimlit, who was, I guess, kind of a tool. It doesn't really, a flashlight doesn't fit that well into the shed heads, but it certainly fits better in the shed heads than it would have as like a flashlight in the Jock Squad, which was my assumption at the time because it's like, well, I don't know where else Dimlit goes, so I guess he's a member of the Jock Squad or the stand-in for the Jock Squad, which is really strange. But it's kind of just minutia because really you can put the BotBots in whatever teams you want. But that is kind of interesting. That is like, oh yeah, the original stand-in for the Jock Squad was going to be Kick Me, and then we eventually saw this mold in Series 2 as a Sprinkleberry Dough Ball, I think his name was, or Duh Ball. It's the same thing as Sprinkleberry Donut, except it's just ball instead of nut, which is we saw this mold in Series 2 as a donut hole, and then in Series 3 released as a soccer ball. But if you look at like some of the promotional material for Series 1, there was a little animated like Kick Me soccer ball in the Lost Spots, and for whatever reason the mold got shelved and they ended up releasing it later. But it's cool to have this figure nonetheless. But that does kind of explain why Kick Me is a member of the Lost Bots in the show and not in the toy line. Even though they changed some stuff up about the toy line in the show, but like the main five really are, pretty accurate. Although if you look at like the bio for the toy too, it's the toy is gendered as non-binary, as they them, and in the show they changed the character to she her, which they're mostly accurate with all the other bots in the show and have them be the genders that they were like written as in their character bios. So feels a little bit skeevy to me that one of the ones that they changed was changing it from a non-binary character to a binary character. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading into that a little bit too much, but I don't know. Feels a little bit suspect to me. But either way, here we have Kick Me in their soccer ball mode, and yeah, it's a pretty good soccer ball overall. I mean, generally, it really is just a sphere that has the little pentagons painted onto it. Like they didn't give it any sort of like soccer ball texture where like each of the little hexagons and pentagons was like a raised section. It's just painted on there, and some of them don't actually line up perfectly, and then like there's one on here somewhere, where is it there, that is like kind of bisected by one of the panel lines. So it's definitely passable. Like you look at this and you could not see it as anything other than a soccer ball. There's no denying what it is, but it doesn't really like go above and beyond to make it look like a real soccer ball, which I understand because they probably, even if this was designed for Series 1, they probably did figure that, they would repaint it as some other kind of spherical object later. And like, if it had all that texture on it, you really couldn't say that's now a donut hole. So I understand it, but, could have been better. But yeah, for transformation, if you look at this one pentagon here, there's a little bit of a divot in there. You just want to get your fingernail in there and just untab it from this section here, and then the rest of the section is on a slider that you pull up like that, rotate it around, and then compress it back up so it kind of just hangs on the back here. And then the rest of the body, you kind of just have to get your fingernails on it and wiggle it back and forth. It's a little tight, but it's not as bad as some of them can be, especially because there's a pretty good place to grab it. And you just pull the body down there, and there you have KIKMEE in their robot mode. And yeah, it's a pretty cute little robot mode. I like the little whistling mouth with the little music notes there. It's cute. The one part about this robot mode that does kind of suck is just the huge section hanging off the back there. But on the bright side, it does mean it's a lot easier to stand up. I mean, you can push it over from the side, but like, you know, if that piece wasn't there, then it would be pretty easy to knock them over like forward or backwards too. So it's got some benefits, but it is kind of just an ugly chunk of kibble on the back of the robot mode. No articulation or anything like that, since like the hands, the body, and the legs are all just one solid piece. And now, what's kind of interesting about this robot mode, and definitely gives credence to this, you know, this idea that KIKMEE was originally supposed to be intended as the soccer ball, and then the donut hole was a repaint, is if you look on the bottom of the feet here, it actually does have little cleats sculpted into the bottom there. So definitely, like, this was meant to be kind of a more sportsy guy from the original mold. Like, it's not like that gets in the way of the robot mode for the donut hole, which I can't compare it to because I don't have that one, but still, definitely does make it feel like the soccer ball, or at least some sports object, was the original intent there. And just the fact that, like, you know, the cutout here is very, you know, following a soccer ball pattern, whereas, you know, that would have been kind of just incidental on the donut hole. But yeah, so pretty neat. I don't usually do comparisons with BotBots, but for this one, because the BotBots show just came out, I thought it would be fun to show them off with the other main four cast. So you can see the little Lost Bots crew there, even though technically KIKMEE is not supposed to be part of the Lost Bots in the toy line. It works well enough for the show. And, you know, this toy looks about as accurate as the show model as the other four do. So which is to say not very, but still pretty cool to have all five of them together. But yeah, I would say, you know, all things considered, they're an all right BotBot. I'd say robot mode for me probably gets a 3 out of 5. It's okay. I'm not in love with it. I do think it's cute, but the one thing that does make me dock it a few points is just the huge chunk. Even if it does help it stand a little bit, I think they'd still be better without this section on there. And, you know, it's not like the most creative kind of transformation. So, 3 kind of averages out overall. Some good qualities, some bad qualities, but not overall that exciting. Alt mode, I think I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. Like, it's adequate. It gets the job done. You know exactly what it is when you look at it. So that does, you know, make me overall pretty favorable of it. But, you know, it doesn't really go above and beyond to like do the full on soccer ball texture or anything like that, which I think could have benefited it. And then transformation is just normal average. So 3 out of 5, which is going to give KIKMEE here an ultimate score of 10 out of 15, which makes them a 3-star BotBot. So yeah, you know, kind of average overall, nothing too exciting. It's nice to complete the main 5 from the show, but, you know, not the best figure overall. It's good, it's adequate, but not the most exciting BotBot. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 3, KIKMEE.